From the most trusted names in local news, KDPG Sunday Edition.
Good morning and welcome to the KDPG Sunday Edition. I'm Megan Schiller. Being on death row in Pennsylvania looks a lot different now than it did just 1 week ago. The state corrections department agreed to make big changes. From now on, getting a death sentence will no longer mean mandatory solitary confinement. Death row inmates will now be allowed at least 40 hours a week out of their cells, visit from family members, and daily access to phones. And these changes likely wouldn't have happened without our guest today. Vic Volchak is the legal director for the ACLU of Pennsylvania. He helped bring the lawsuit against the Corrections Department that led to a settlement and those policy changes we're talking about. I'm also joined by Jerry Micco of the Post-Gazette, Senior Assistant Managing Editor there at the PG. Thanks so much for being with us, guys.
Thank you.
So, I guess I'll start off. Before we even talk about these changes that you essentially made happen, what was, in your opinion, the fundamental issue that existed?
Yeah, so there's people who've been on death row for more than 30 years. And in Pennsylvania, what that meant is that you literally were stuck in a cage that is about 8 by 12, so the size of a regular parking spot, not very big. And you would be in that cage 22, 23 hours a day. On weekends and holidays, you wouldn't get out at all. And when you did get out, it would be for 1 or 2 hours in a smaller cage to involve some kind of recreation, which you did by yourself. There's no communal activity. And psychiatrists have for decades talked about the incredible damage that's done to individuals who are subject to this kind of prolonged isolation. They say even 30 days can create damage. And as I said, some folks have been on death row and in prolonged, permanent solitary confinement for 30 years.
What's the historic background on that as far as isolating them that way? Is it because they're on death row and they're treated differently, or is it just because they fear that somebody who's already on death row may not care if he gets in a fight with a prisoner or something, what he will do? So what's the historic background on that?
Yeah, so it's certainly because they are different. Death as a punishment is different from anything else. Historically, they have been segregated from everybody else, so they're generally not part of the rest of the prison population. I think it may well be that prison officials were afraid that these individuals may commit more crimes or engage in violence while they're in the prison. But what anybody who does prison work will tell you is that most of these folks who are in there on any kind of murder-related charge, they tend to be the most compliant, the ones who create the least problems, because they know they're really not going anywhere, and the only thing that's going to happen is their lives are going to get worse if they misbehave. So, but regardless of the reason, if somebody misbehaves, you could punish them. But here, even if you were a model prisoner, and most of these are, they were subject to this sort of perpetual, indefinite solitary confinement.
What was the justification for solitary confinement? Why did people say that they felt it was so necessary?
It's a mystery to us. We did, in 2017, send a letter to the Department of Corrections with reciting all of the research that had been done. This literally goes back a century, where they knew this kind of solitary confinement causes profound psychological, physical damage to individuals.
You said you've seen it when you go in, right, and you see people that are grown men doing things that you wouldn't do.
Right. People who are literally in the middle of the day lying in a cot with the sheets over their head covered up. And as our psychiatric expert said, I don't even need to talk to those individuals to know that there's damage, there's something wrong if that's what you're doing in the middle of the day, whether it's depression or not. But this has been going on since the death penalty was reinstated in the late 1970s, and everybody who's on death row is subject to this. What's interesting is that a lot of these folks would have their death sentences overturned. So there's a handful of people who have been exonerated, so they were innocent, they're released. A lot of them, a lot more, have had their death sentences vacated, and as soon as you vacate that death sentence, they go into general population right? And the vast majority of them have had no problem. So there's no kind of institutional security reason for this kind of policy.
Is there a national trend to this, or is Pennsylvania behind the nation now and has caught up with the recent ruling?
Yeah, so
settlement.
Pennsylvania, I don't think was at the bottom. Well, maybe they were at the bottom, but they shared the bottom with a number of other states, but they certainly were not in the lead. With this settlement, I think they jump into the lead. I mean, this is probably one of the most, if not the most progressive settlement for folks on death row.
Is National ACLU going to get involved in other states that have the death penalty and segregate prisoners?
So our national ACLU, we have something called the National Prison Project, was co-counsel with us in this matter. They have been involved in litigation in other states as well, and I'm sure they will continue to do that. But I think we have the 4th largest death row in the country, and it's shrinking. I mean, it was, I think, over 150 when we filed suit, and it's now maybe 136. So it's getting smaller as sentences are getting vacated, but it's still an awful lot of people.
What effect will the inmates see, and also what effect does this have on the actual correctional institute in terms of their day-to-day?
Yeah, so it has been night and day for the prisoners, and let me just correct something you said in the outset, is that the changes are now going to happen because the settlement was signed this week. The DOC has actually been implementing many, if not most, of these changes over the past several months. So we've already had a trial run to see how this increased freedom for individuals is going to impact prison operations, and the answer is zippo. I mean, there really has been no problems, and if anything, it's made life for corrections staff easier because people are just, I mean, you're healthier, you're out, you have an opportunity to take meals on the tier, to socialize with other individuals, to participate in religious activities, to participate in educational activities, and so people who were really damaged, had become quite antisocial, are getting better, and in terms of managing those individuals, it becomes easier.
Mm-hmm.
People who favor the death penalty and want to see it, what kind of reaction have you gotten from them? And what's been, obviously you got the settlement done through a lawsuit, but has the ACLU, or if you can talk to state officials, have they gotten a lot of feedback in the negative about this?
So I don't know the answer to that. We have not gotten a lot of criticism. I mean, we do a lot of controversial cases, and in a lot of those cases we get a lot of hate mail. We haven't gotten it, although it's still early. We may get that in the next few weeks. Look, there is a legal process. People who are subject to the death penalty, regardless of whether you believe in it or don't. I don't personally. The ACLU doesn't believe in it because it can't be administered fairly, and it's really inhumane. But those folks have a sentence where they're going to stay in jail. That sentence does not include torture, and keeping somebody in an 8 by 12 foot cage for 23 hours a day or more is a form of torture, and that's just not what the system should be doing.
Specifically, the settlement very, descriptively outlines exactly what these changes are going. Can you just run through them just so we have a better idea of the differences?
Yeah, so the really big ones are that the people are guaranteed 42 and a half hours out of the cell each week, so that if you think that's about 6 hours a day, which is huge, and that's a minimum. They're guaranteed a minimum amount of time in outdoor recreation. They've already changed the recreation, where it used to be you'd go into a tiny little cage, it looked like a dog kennel, where you would be able to basically stand there by yourself outside, not do anything. And what they've done now is they've created a large cage, so you're still in a cage, but there's basketball, there's weights. It's more like you would sort of imagine you would have even in a prison setting. There's access to all sorts of congregate activities, so religious services, education. And one of the most important changes is that these folks had no contact visits. So you've got people who have been in there for 30 years, 20, 30 years, who have not been able to touch a loved one. And one of our clients was worried his mom was really sick, and he said, I can't believe will not have had a chance to touch her and hug her and tell her I love her. So getting contact visits was huge for us, and finally the DOC agreed to that. Increased phone calls. So it's just the ability to maintain some kind of contact with folks on the outside is huge. And then finally, I think a really important piece of this is that many of the folks are damaged by having spent so much time in solitary confinement. Some came in and already had mental disabilities, and so that's gotten worse. Others didn't have it, have developed it. For those prisoners who need specific sort of targeted psychiatric help, that's going to be made available. There's going to be assessments done of everybody, and so it's good. And we're going to monitor this settlement for a period of years, make sure that the DOC complies. I have no reason to think that they won't. But it's as Nelson Mandela said, that society is judged by how it treats the least of its citizens, and I feel like today Pennsylvania is just a little bit better.
Thank you so much for your input. We really appreciate you coming on to talk to us.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. Well, people across North America are seeing the story of Mr. Rogers on the big screen. What will that mean for Fred Rogers' legacy and his message? We'll dive into that when KDPG Sunday Edition continues.